Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome back to WorldTVOnDemand.com. And today we're working on this big monster of a boat motor, but the cover here has a hole in it right here. I think you can see that. Big old monster of a hole in it right there. I don't know how it happened, but it fell over. I'm going to go on the inside here with some Bondo and try to straighten it out here, right there. I'm going to try to straighten it out and put some Bondo on it and clean it up a little bit. And then I'm going to paint the whole thing. I'm going to paint the top, the motor. I'm going to sand it down and try to do a pretty good job so it looks good on the boat since I'm fixing up the boat. So I hope you stay with me there. But I figured today, while we're just messing around, that I would talk about some current event stuff, because you guys like to stay current, don't you? Stay current, stay current. Well, your good old Mueller report, you know, found Trump not guilty of conspiracy and collusion and all that stuff. But they still want to keep it going. The Democrats say we're going to investigate until the investigation is investigated about the investigation and the investigation. And so MSNBC, you know, they just keep, they wouldn't even be in business without Trump, because it's Trump lied, Trump lied, Trump lied, Trump lied. That's a bunch of crap. I don't understand what's going on there. But anyway, and then, you know, Trump is not a career politician. He might be now, but I guarantee as soon as he gets done with his 8 years as president, that he's going to go back to running his business just like he did before he ran for president. And no, he didn't know no Russians, and he wasn't included. He was talking to them about building a hotel over there in Russia. Talking, you know, what the heck is wrong with people? And then they blow it all out of proportion and spend $24 million investigating, and now they say there's nothing to it. But they want to investigate it for another 2 years, and possibly after that another 4 years. And the Democrats, which I don't care if it's Democrat or Republicans, because there's some Republicans doing the same thing too. They just want to investigate and investigate. Where's the politicians that are running this country? Oh my gosh! I mean, I hate to say that our government is corrupt, but it appears in the 60+ years I've been on this planet, that looking back, it looks like the U.S. government is probably as corrupt or more corrupt than any other country in the world. And stay with me now, this is why. Because we control, not me, but the United States, the people in charge control the money. And if you control the money, you control everything else. This is the only country in the world that, you know, we're $22 trillion in debt now, and this has only happened in the last 10 years. We're a couple of $1 trillion in debt before the last administration and now this one. And it's just crazy. But if you want to see how corrupt it is, this Jussie Smollett, whatever his last name is, I can't pronounce it. But this stuff has been going on for forever. You know, this ain't the first time that somebody famous was in trouble and bought their way out of it. So I don't understand what the big surprise is. You know, Patrica Brown, in my opinion, done a fantastic job getting him off. I mean, who would not want a lawyer like that? I got a tickle in my throat today for some reason. They didn't only let Jussie off. The chief prosecutor, or one of the prosecutors, I'm going to play a video for you here and listen to what she says. She could have prosecuted him, but before I play that, listen. I don't care. It was a hoax. He's an actor. He hired a couple of guys to pretend that they beat him up or whatever, and it was all just a hoax. It was just having fun. Why was there any case at all brought to it at all anyway? Is childish in so many different ways that it's just stupid that they would even charge the guy. Who called the police to start with? That is just stupid. I think he did, but still, once he said it was just a joke, I was playing around, it should have been done with right there. It should have been, okay, so what? You know, they're kids, they need to grow up, blah, blah, blah. But listen to what the prosecutor had to say.
Her office could have proven Jussie Smollett guilty.
The court has not found him guilty. I believe based on the facts and the evidence that was presented in the charging decision made by this office believed that they could prove him guilty.
So those comments from Kim Foxx are deepening the mystery surrounding the sudden dismissal of charges against Smollett, right? So the charges just got dropped. She's not saying they could have proven it. She actually had recused herself from the case. And she's already under fire for having had contact with the actor's family before he was charged.
Smollett, for his part, has repeatedly said that he is innocent of all the charges. We should mention this, though, Aaron. The prosecutor, you heard her there, state's attorney, saying that they didn't really want the entire case sealed. But in court, when this case came up to the judge, the defense attorneys asked for it to be sealed, and the prosecutor did not say no to that. And essentially, they agreed by their silence.
He's an actor. He hired a couple of guys to pretend that they beat him up or whatever, and it was all just a hoax. It was just having fun. Why was there any case at all brought to it at all anyway? Is childish in so many different ways that it's just stupid that they would even charge the guy. Who called the police to start with? That is just stupid. I think he did, but still, once he said it was just a joke, I was playing around, it should have been done with right there. It should have been, okay, so what? You know, they're kids, they need to grow up, blah, blah. Oh, why I've got you too, ad blocker. Do you have ad blocker on your computer? Well, look at this picture here. I took a screenshot of it. You know, if you go to a lot of the websites now that you go to, if you have ad blocker, they have an ad blocker for your ad blocker. So if you have ad blocker, it'll pop up and say, you know, buy our ad blocker for X amount of dollars, and if you buy our ad blocker, we'll still let you see our website. But if you're using your ad blocker that you got for free or for whatever, blah, 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 you're not going to look at our website or our stuff. I mean, I kind of think that's detrimental to the website. Just because you got an ad blocker, you don't want to watch their ads. They're going to block you from looking at their website. Well, that's how they make their money. It's the same thing with YouTube. If you're a YouTube creator and you're using ad blocker, you better not be using ad blocker while you're logged into your channel, because they will take down your channel or demonetize your channel for using ad blocker. I'm just telling you. So let's just move on from that. And then another thing about this border wall thing. I mean, there's locks on everything. I got locks on my sheds. I got a gate and I got it locked. You've got a fence around your yard, most likely. Most people do. And you know, fences make good neighbors. I'm good neighbors with my friend over here and good neighbors with my friend over there. But we have a fence up to keep our stuff from going into each other's yard and stuff like that. And my grandkids from running through their yards and, you know, putting their toys over there and stuff like that. So fences make good neighbors. That's what I've always heard. So on this border wall thing, listen to this conversation from these guys on Fox News, and one of them is a border patrol, or it was a border patrol. But just listen to what they have to say. But doing this video, the last 2 days this week, there was 8,000, more than 8,000 people crossing the border in New Mexico that they arrested, that they caught. Who knows how many got through that they didn't catch. And there was so much activity and stuff going on at the Mexico border, they had to shut down the borders crossings where the people normally would cross to get in, because there were just so many people there, thousands of people. But listen to this conversation on Fox News, and I'll be right back with you. Listen to this.
We saw the highest total of apprehensions and encounters in over a decade, with 4,000 migrants either apprehended or encountered at ports of entry in a single day. Yesterday, we broke the record again with 4,117.
So how can Congress keep writing this off as a manufactured crisis? Joining me now is the Director of Urban Engagement at Turning Point USA, Brandon Tatum, and Democratic strategist Antoine Seawright. Thank you both for joining us so early this morning. Appreciate it.
Good morning.
All right, so Brandon, I will start with you. What do you think about the comments? I mean, the numbers are staggering. 4,000 arrests in one day on Monday, over 4,000 the next day on Tuesday. Clearly, there's an issue.
Right, and I would really hope and I wish that these politicians would stop being fake and really identify that this is a crisis. This is no longer considered illegal immigration. This is an invasion of our country. People are just scrambling and running through our border, evading Border Patrol, depleting our resources. It is an emergency, and I think we need to take it seriously. And I believe most Americans understand that, but people in government position need to get their stuff together and make sure we deal with this issue.
Antoine, it really is kind of mind-boggling how these statistics, these numbers keep coming up. We have leaders who are there on the border saying, hey, this is a serious problem, but that when you get to D.C., somehow the message is lost on a lot of Democrats.
Border wall is not an emergency. It is a crisis of convenience. Just like the migrant van, every time we get closer to an election, that is an emergency. A lot of people are in favor of Donald Trump's border wall.
Can I ask you a couple things, though, before we go to Brandon? Two things that you said. Once you said that it was a crisis of convenience. Certainly not a crisis of convenience to those individuals who are killed by illegal immigrants entering this country. Kate Steinle, Corporal Ronald Singh, that's just two. The second thing I wanted to ask you about is you keep referring to it as Donald Trump's wall. And is that what part of the problem is with Democrats? Because they call it Donald Trump's wall, whereas before it's always been a wall that was needed, that they voted in favor for before.
Well, I think what the gentleman is saying is Democratic talking points. They're not realistic. Okay, the facts of the matter are
what's not realistic?
We need to build a wall. We need to build a wall to secure our border, and then we can allocate resources to other things. It's not realistic to run around and say we want to do something about the wall with open borders, but they have no solutions. Technology that they haven't been proven. They can't give you a They don't
Brandon,
know what
you don't even
about.
make sense
They're
what
just
you're
running
saying.
their mouths.
But Brandon, before you jump in, Antoine, Brandon, you've been to the border. You're there. You know what's happening.
I know exactly what happened. I patrolled in the southern Arizona. I understand how drugs, sex trafficking, all this stuff is coming right through. The Border Patrol agents are telling the American people that they need help and they need a wall. It can't be any more clear than that. Politicians have no idea what they're talking about. They're not there. They're not on the battlefield. These Border Patrol agents are. Local law enforcement are. Listen to these professionals. Give them what they need. It's not a Trump wall. It's an American wall that's going to protect our people and that's going to eliminate a lot of this border crossing and this criminal activity that's coming across the southern border.
Brandon,
Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a little bit of this Bondo. I don't need a whole lot. I'm going to get enough to cover that hole. Get it on this piece of wood here. I had to stir it up a little bit because it just wasn't mixed up good from the last time. It's been sitting in the shed for a while. So now I'm just going to put, that's probably more than I need. But more or less like that. See that? Yeah. Got my little bit of mixing thing there. Then you have to put hardener in it. Now depending on how fast you want it to dry, as to how much hardener you put in it. And I don't really care how fast it dries because I'm just going to straighten it out and put some on the inside here. and try to get this to stay like it's supposed to. So I'm just going to put a little bit in there, a little bit. That's probably too much. That's probably going to get hot real quick. And that's how it works. It'll get hot. We're going to mix it all in. And it's going to turn a reddish color, or a brownish color. But you want to get it all mixed in. Spread it out like you're doing dough. Do-si-do, do-si-do. See how it's getting real red? And it's going to get real hot here real quick. So you want to be able to work with it while it's flexible, because once it starts setting up, it don't take it but a minute or two and it's done. And you won't be able to work with it no more. So I'm just going to take it and put it in here. It don't really matter on the inside because, like I said, once you get it on there, it'll be okay. So now, just want that to be like that. Now let me see if I can do a little bit on the outside. Now it's starting to heat up now. Starting to heat up a little bit. And that's pretty much it for that. Okay. So I'm going to wait for that to dry. And I think it's going to be pretty good. Can you see it? I think you can see it. It's right there. Right there. Take some sandpaper and clean that bad boy up after it dries a little bit. I also went over a few more little spots here in the back because I'm going to clean this up and paint it and make it look good. Maybe put a name across the back or something. But yeah, I took some Bondo and went in those little divots and things to make them look better. I think it's going to be nice when I get done with it. I think it's going to be nice. Yeah, it's getting there. So, I hope I didn't bore you too much with the politics stuff and a little bit of news stuff, but hey, you never know what people are interested in. But, you know, I'm going to fix this boat up here. Another reason I'm going to fix the boat up here, and I've got my truck, I can connect to it and go anytime, is, you know, when the stuff does hit the fan, and you know, I've never seen it as bad as it is now with people against each other in the United States. In Florida, we got these guys on dirt bikes and four-wheelers going up and down the interstates, running cars off the road and cars running over the four-wheelers and stuff, and the police have their hands full. So they can't, if you call them, they're so busy doing crap like that. If you had an emergency or something, somebody breaking into your house or something, they probably couldn't get to you. So you gotta be able to protect yourself by whatever means necessary, I suppose. And but back to the boat. You know, at least if the roads and stuff get clogged up and you have a boat in the water somewhere, like a river or something like that, at least you can go hide out somewhere till maybe it calms down. But this boat's big enough. I think I can put a portable type canopy on it that'll pop up like a regular pop-up canopy. That if you had to, you could probably live on this boat. You know, this wouldn't be something you'd want to do for a long period of time. But if you had to get out, get in the water and get away from people, you know, even if you're on a lake and you get out in the middle of the lake, you can see people coming from all directions, and they're not going to swim out to you, because I'm telling you what, you get out in a lake, and a lake 5 or 6 miles across, unless they got a good boat and a good motor, which this is going to be a good one. This is going to be fast. I say 25, 30 miles an hour with this boat, maybe faster. But you know, you can kind of hide and get around and stuff like that. And this boat's big enough I can get 4 or 5 people on it if I had to. It's looking pretty good. So if you don't have a Cody device, get you one. If you want one from me, you can get one at my website at worldtvondemand.com. And then if you have internet, you can get all the news and stuff you want, because it's there. Another thing, make sure you get you an antenna and put it outside. Because with an antenna you can at least pick up local stuff. If the internet goes down, well, that's another story. But they're talking about this EMT bomb that, you know, some people have, and they're going to explode it over the United States and all that. I hope that don't happen, but if it does, you gotta have your stuff ready to go, man. You gotta have your stuff ready to go. So anyway, I'm just babbling on now. This is Harold with worldtvondemand.com. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'm gonna keep working on this boat, show you some more videos and stuff. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Make comments below if you like. And as soon as I get the gumption up to come out and do some more work on it, I will. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you again real soon. I hope. If the alphabet don't come and get us for whatever reason for peeing in your toilet. I could talk forever about that. I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.